Okay, so first I will present our syllabus. So, so maklaro ninyo, class? Okay, so our subject for this term 2 is system integration and architecture. So, IT 303. So, first is I will present our syllabus, and then next is our grading system. And then the last is our Google Classroom, no? So, sa mga expected outputs and expected nga mga meetings sa atong klase karon nga term 2. So, first is um we will discuss of our national goal, vision and mission, and university goals and quality policy. So I think I think everyone is familiar with our all of this one. So I think dili na ako ni i-discuss ninyo, no, kay murag mo taas jud ta. So we will now directly proceed to our this one, our description. So course description for system integration and architecture 1 is this course will introduce to the student on how to design and build systems and integrate them into an organization. So, this knowledge area develops the skills to gather requirements, source, evaluate, and integrate components into a single system. And finally, to validate the system. So, this course also covers the fundamentals of project management and interplay between IT applications and organizational processes. So, in this course, we will learn how to integrate systems between IT applications and organizational processes. So the number of our units will be 3 units, so 1 hour for lecture and 3 hours for laboratory. And by the end of this course, students will be able to analyze fundamental requirements in building and integrating system and architecture, then perform techniques in building and integrating system and architecture to a specified requirements, and then adapt system integration and architecture in implementing enterprise platform. So we'll now proceed to our topics. Okay, so our expected topics first and foremost is our orientation. So that is why um, we are conducting this orientation right now to have our first topic. So moment yun atong first topic. So next is we have how many ILOs? So we have, I think we have 8. So we have 8 ILOs or intended learning outcomes, no, for this subject. So first ILO is to define the system integration architecture. So under that ILO, we have our topic, which is introduction to system integration and architecture. So um, this topic, no, kaning introduction to system architecture has several subtopics. So we have, I think we have 8 subtopics. And all these topic kaning introduction to system integration and architecture makover niya ang duha ka ILO, which is 1 and 2. So sa ILO 2, we have discussed the fundamental requirements and techniques in building system integration and architecture. So now, obviously ang atong ILO 1 and 2 is more on theory lang. So more on mga definition, mga meaning, and so on and so forth. So ang atong murag mag-execute jud ta kanang maghimo jud ta is diri na ta sa atong ILO 3. So ang atong ILO 3 is explain. So we have to explain the modeling tools and methodologies in system integration and architecture. So when we say modeling tools, we are referring to softwares, no? Softwares that are able to produce, no? Kanang makahimo ta og mga diagrams like Microsoft Visual Paradigm, no, and other free kanang sa online nga mga free nga modeling okay ra pud na. So this part diri sa atong ILO 3 we have a topic no natay topic nga UML or Unified Modeling Language. So don't worry, I will discuss all of this kung saan paghimo og taro nga use case, kung saan paghimo sa proper nga class diagram, sequential and state. So maybe next week, no, maybe next week sa atong lecture nga time I will discuss all of this one. So sa kadtong naminaw og tarong karon ug sa kadtong na present karon, please inform your classmates nga next week sa atong schedule jud sa atong lecture mag-discuss ta, no, to on how to create proper diagrams nga needed para sa atong course, sa atong subject karon. Okay? So, another topic is we have system architecture, hardware, software, and virtual. So, under ana atong ILO 4 which is to differentiate software, differentiate system architecture, hardware, software, and virtual. So, now we will have to proceed on our ILO 5 to demonstrate enterprise integration approaches, standards, and best practices. So we have another topic which is enterprise application integration. Covered po diha atong unom nga ILO. So we have to acknowledge the issues involved in creating an enterprise system or project to a specified organization requirements. So we are now done with our lecture sa ato lecture nga part. Now we will now proceed to our laboratory learning plan. So as I have said earlier, we will only integrate our lecture and laboratory since pandemic. So we will have activities integrated whether it's lecture or laboratory as long as um, it covers our subject matter. Okay? So, sa atong laboratory learning plan, we have our topics, modeling tools. So, we have the use case diagrams, class, sequential, and state diagrams. So, our intended learning outcome for this topic is to perform the techniques in modeling tools and methodologies. Okay? So, our last um, ILO, so we have to differentiate system architecture. So we have um, hardware, software, and virtual architecture. So we are now done with our atong tanan ILOs. So expected niya our subject which is SIA 1 or System Integration and Architecture 1 is um, is more on diagramming, no, diagramming and um, what do we call this, diagramming and differentiating each architectures. So we will be expecting um, we are expecting to our students kamo no to submit outputs like um, output of use case of a online shopping, no, dapat tudloan mo na mo unsaon um, paghimo og mga sakto nga diagrams which is needed for the later part, no, in order sa inyong progress sa inyong pag-eskwela. So here is our grading system. So our grading system is for both lecture and laboratory, we have 60% class standing. So it means class standing is this one. So kung moingon ko magpatawag ko og orientation, magpatawag ko og anang virtual meeting, virtual discussion, kana siya appeal na ang 60% ana, covered na ang 60% ana. Kung moingon ko nga submit this one in our group chat, mga mag-post ko og mga trivia questions sa atong Facebook group. Kung ako makita nga kinsa ang ga-participate ana, diha na mabutang ang 60%. Okay? So expect lang mo, no, to have mga surprise nga mga trivia questions sa atong group chat or mga mga virtual meetings, no, virtual discussion sa atong subject. So anyway, next week we will have to meet, no, para to discuss module 1 and 2. So please prepare na lang daan and inform your other classmates. Okay? So now, we are done with our syllabus. So now I am going to present again our what we call this, our Google Classroom. So I am quite concerned since ang atong ang members sa atong Google Classroom is only 26 students, and sa atong class record is we have kuan makabuok, we have 32, and sa usa ka section is 18, so I am expecting 50 students. So kuan pa lang ang nag-enroll, 26 pa lang. So hopefully nga makuan na mo ani, mag-enroll na mo. Okay? So I will send later the atong invite link sa atong Google Classroom and the class key. Okay? Class code. So kung dili na ko ma-send by lunch, please remind me na lang nga, sir, please send the invite link and the class code. Okay? Kay basig kapuyan na mo backread ang uban yung classmates. So I have already posted our learning materials. So we have our course syllabus, we have our module 1 and 2, and our module 3 and 4. So naanan diri tanan ang kinahanglan natong ipang-pass. Okay? So naka-detailed na ang mga instructions dira. So no need, kung na may questions, just chat in our group chat. Okay? So again, reminding everyone to enroll in our Google Classroom. Okay? So um now is the time for our what we call this, question and answer. So naamo yung mga gustong ipangutana or i-clarify, anyone? So I guess wala naman siguro. So now I am requesting everyone to turn on atong mga camera for our picture taking, for our evidence. Okay? So ako nang onhan class. So nag-on ako sa akong camera. So asa naman yung uban? Ah, mga presko man dayon ni day. Okay? Okay. Sige. So, haman ng uban, Mr. Salan and Mr. Braille. Okay? So, let's now okay. Sige. So, let's now count na ko ha. So, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. So, okay na. Pwede naman mag-turn off. Okay. So, reminding again, next week ha, magmeet ta. Maybe by, let me check our schedule. So, 3C. So, maybe by Monday siguro, no? Mag magmeet ta ang atong schedule is kuan man is for our lecture is Monday and Thursday 4 to 6 p.m. So between 4 to 6 p.m. by Monday next week, we will meet for our module 1 and 2. Okay? So I guess we are now settled. So your attendance is already recorded since nag-screenshot naman ko. So okay na to inyong attendance. I will give credit to those who attended this orientation. So thank you so much everyone for joining, and if you don't have any questions, kindly leave the meeting, and thank you so much.